Yellow! Happy holidays, everyone! Time for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, presents, hot cocoa, snow sledding, and all that good stuff. It's that time of year to sit back again and relax and reminisce on the year. Taking time to listen to your favorite Christmas albums, and finally laying back and watching your favorite Christmas movie. Then I hear this agitating, graining voice. Gone is my beloved yearly Santa Coca-Cola ad with the polar bears that my dad says represent his soul, replaced entirely with AI slop. No longer does this ad fill me with Christmas joy and remind me of my dad. This ad is entirely soulless and dystopian. The polar bears no longer look cute and expressive, they look unsettling. The ad animals that don't make sense, like sloths, and they move in impossible ways. The bunnies move in one mass amalgamation. You can't tell if it's a group of bunnies or if it's a twisted, sick new creature with 1,000,000 ears and feet. Coca-Cola can obviously tell it's not a great ad. That's why they switch between scenes so fast, hoping you don't see the mistakes the AI has made in the first place. However, it is kind of hard to miss a Coca-Cola truck driving off the road into pedestrians on the sidewalk. It is crazy to think the company behind why Santa is red in the first place did this type of commercial. Before Coca-Cola, Santa inconsistently changed between blue, green, and red. The Coca-Cola company actually hired designers and made many jobs for artists to make the perfect ad that feels like Christmas. That's the reason we have the well-known image of Santa in red drinking Coke out of a glass bottle. And it's why Santa is not seen in green or blue anymore. They made his red suit iconic. However, they are far from the only company to use AI to promote themselves. Notable examples are Tesla, Toys R Us, BMW, which is insane because it's a car, you want to see how it works, Nutella, Nike, McDonald's, Starbucks, KFC, Adidas, Mint Mobile, Heinz Ketchup, and many more companies. It just never ends. But I'm pretty sure you get the point. A lot of companies are using AI, and it's hard to escape it, and becoming increasingly harder to identify it. Most artists and younger individuals can spot it instantly. But what about the elderly people? I can't go a day without my dad getting scammed on Facebook and showing me something he thinks is funny, but it's actually AI, or him getting moved by a fake trailer that doesn't actually exist. Young people are obviously becoming very angry. Degrees they just went into major debt for are becoming pointless. An already competitive job market is becoming even worse when AI takes jobs, and the AI isn't even good at it. Companies are just using AI to cut corners. It would be one thing if AI was only affecting artists and stealing their work. However, in more scary news, it's already being implemented in security cameras for facial recognition and falsely getting people in prison, permanently ruining their lives. Even if they are innocent, it stays on their permanent record, which is insane. All hope is not lost, though. Even though hundreds of companies are using AI, people all over the world are livid with it. The ads, dislikes on YouTube greatly surpass the likes. 12,000 likes may sound like a lot, but compared to 215,000 dislikes, it really puts it into perspective how people feel about AI. Not just the dislikes put this into perspective, but people's feelings itself do. The comments are coming for the brand. The comments are even receiving more likes than the original ad itself. Notable comments I like to highlight are, "This is so dystopian. A massive corporation making an AI commercial to sell their sugar water, generating wild animals being excited, while real ecosystems dwindle due to the water usage and real artists are stripped of their dignity." Nothing says Christmas quite like Dad got fired because AI replaced him to do animation. The most profitable commercial in Pepsi's history. All these decades trying to cure my Coke addiction, and this did it in 30 seconds. It's always a real thing, LOL. Nothing says holiday spirit like laying off your whole graphic arts department in the name of moving forward and pushing the envelope. The $10 million saved in making this ad will cost Coke $100 million in sales. Reading these negative comments against AI makes me realize there is still hope for humanity. This is the strongest argument I've ever seen for never touching this brand. So, anybody feel like Pepsi? You get the point. Everybody is angry about this. People are ready to put their money where their mouth is by boycotting the brand. Images show everything the brand Coca-Cola owns are spreading across the internet like wildfire. Now, I am sort of glad they added high-fruit corn syrup to my favorite peace tea, so I can't drink it anyway without dying, so it makes it more easy to avoid them. So I can boycott them without feeling sad. So, I guess in a roundabout way, thank you. Here's the image in case you want to boycott, though they do own a lot. The brand refuses to comment on the boycotts and money, even though many news sources and outlets have reached out for a comment. It's very clear to see how consumers feel about it, especially with comments like, so anybody feel like a Pepsi, referring to Coca-Cola's fellow soda competitor. Most ironically, the AI YouTube recently implemented to summarize comments says, users want Pepsi ads. It's kind of crazy when even the AI turns against itself. I wouldn't be surprised if Coke lost so much money from the AI ad, it negates the amount of money they save by not using animators. As a fellow artist, I have been feeling very down about the rampant use of AI due to its stealing from real-life artists and not even looking good. However, seeing the outpour of regular consumers' hate on the soulless ad healed my doom a little bit. The hate on these AI Christmas ads were so intense, McDonald's previous AI ad has been pulled from television networks. Now that brings me some Christmas joy, seeing us all come together to take down AI. Consumers don't want recycled art that has been run through an AI machine, erasing its soul while destroying the environment. The consumers want authenticity. We can see this by the mass boycotts that are happening around the world. The thing is, where can consumers find the authenticity they so desperately want? It is becoming harder and harder to find products that don't use AI. Even Pixie, the website known for its independent creative sellers, literally allows AI on its site and has a whole category dedicated to it. Why is it that big companies are so insistent on using AI when consumers hate it so much? It's pretty simple. It's the money. The less workers, the less you spend. The less you spend to make a product, the more money you receive, especially if you upcharge. If companies all use AI, they can begin to normalize it because normalcy is what you see repeatedly. Like, I still use Etsy even though they have AI on its website because there's not really a good alternative to promote my artwork. So I'm still on the Etsy website, even though I don't agree with their use of AI. Commercialism and authenticity do not mix for the exact reason, even if authenticity is what the consumers want. It is not about the consumers, it is about the money. It does not matter if the consumer doesn't like the product. The more money the business makes, the more companies they can buy. This gives the business the opportunity to become a monopoly. That's how Coca-Cola owns so much to begin with. Other examples of monopolies are Amazon, Nestle. Don't even get me started on Nestle. I could create a whole other video about how evil they are. Sorry. Disney, Johnson & Johnson, Kraft Heinz, etc. I'm sure you could think of your own. I don't think this will work out in the long run. I mean, you heard the comments I mentioned previously, how angry the consumers are and how willingly they put their money where their mouth is. People are going out of their way to avoid big corporations by going to small, local-owned coffee shops or farmers markets. Comic-Cons and artist alleys are having attendances at all-time highs from people looking for real art made by humans, as well as Comic-Cons even going as far as banning and blacklisting artists that use AI. And are they even really artists if they use AI in the first place? Anyway, I hope people will continue to boycott and buy real art. It's odd that in a roundabout way, this AI commercial made me feel hope for humanity from the mass amount of people mad about AI and its effects against them. Just like how I am angry about it, it's not just me and other artists, it's regular people. It's a good way to remember we aren't alone in this fight and to continue the fight and boycott against AI. If you're looking for some real art made by humans, you can check out my Etsy on Mandy Weirdmore or my website also under Mandy Weirdmore. Sorry to shamelessly plug, but a real artist gotta do what a real artist gotta do in these trying AI times, okay? Subscribe if you like art content, vlogs, video essays, and most importantly, everyone, stay weird. Bye!